I know there's over 2 months to go until Madden 22 actually releases, but yes, your boy did get to play Madden 22 thanks to the Madden 22 beta, and today I'm going to tell you guys exactly what Madden 22 is like, everything I experienced in the beta. Now, unfortunately, as you guys know, I can't actually show you footage of the beta. If I did, my channel would get deleted and I would lose my job. But what I will do is try my absolute best to tell you guys everything I know, everything I experienced, things you guys should be looking forward to, and things hopefully EA will fix by the time the game actually releases. So hopefully by the end of today's video, you'll know a lot more about Madden 22. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the Madden 22 content, and if you are, make sure to smash a huge thumbs up. And also, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Guys, we're trying to hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, so make sure to take that millisecond that it does take to click that subscription button if you haven't. Last thing, I am a man of my word, my dudes. I am going to be doing the next-gen console giveaway on my Twitter tomorrow night, so make sure to go over to my Twitter account, follow, so you can have a chance to win yourself a next-gen console for absolutely free. Now, with that said, time for Madden 22 talk. What did I experience from actually playing Madden 22? First of all, we're going to go over the gameplay. Secondly, we will go over franchise mode, and I'll tell you guys as much as I possibly can. I can't sit here and list everything that's new in franchise mode, because I'm pretty sure that would not be allowed either. But I'll try to give you guys the best representation of what I experienced and what you guys can expect from Madden 22. First of all, the gameplay. Now, you guys saw in the trailer, a really big thing about Madden 22 is the whole entire game day experience, the game day atmosphere, the crowd, the chants. Every stadium is unique, has unique abilities. Like, for example, we have the freaking Denver Broncos stadium actually now has the correct altitude. So now with the characteristics of that stadium, you can actually throw the ball further and actually kick the ball further in Denver. So stuff like that is super, super dope. And that isn't a lot. Like the stuff you guys saw in the trailer and all the notes, that is true. The game day experience is completely revamped. And in terms of gameplay, pretty much everything UI based, like I'm talking about, like the scoreboards, the play art, the menus, everything about the gameplay is 1,000,000% different, completely different from Madden 21. Like the play art, completely different. Like I already mentioned, stadium atmosphere, you have freaking flyovers now. Every stadium has its own abilities, own characteristics, different things, different stadiums. You have momentum now. So everything around the gameplay is completely different. But I will say the negative is, from what I've experienced, the gameplay itself, you actually playing the game, feels almost absolutely identical to Madden 21 next-gen gameplay. Now, I will say there are some new animations that they did add into the gameplay, and I did actually get to see the animations in the gameplay, and a lot of them are really cool, especially the toe drag animation this year. It's a little toe tap animation is new, and it looks pretty sick. But aside from adding the new animations, the gameplay just literally feels like Madden 21 next-gen. Is the player still feels sort of clunky. There might be microscopic improvements that I couldn't necessarily feel from playing 5-6 games that I played, but just generally speaking, it felt a lot similar to Madden 21. But like I mentioned, everything about the gameplay around the actually playing the game itself, completely different. Love the new play art, love the new play calling screens, the stadium atmosphere is sick, the sounds are sick, the stadium characteristics are sick, new scoreboard sick, everything around just the UI in general is sick. It's just the gameplay as of right now. Now, I have no idea if the gameplay is finalized or they have a lot more additions they're going to do from now till the game is actually launched, but same time, all I can tell you is what I experience now. What I experience is the gameplay feels exactly the same. Now, the question is, did everything new they added, the new play art screens, is everything new, the stadium atmosphere, everything I've already listed, does them adding all that counteract that the gameplay is about the same? That's up to you. To me, it feels definitely like I'm playing a brand new game until you actually get into where you're playing the football, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it just really depends on what you're looking for. And like I said, there's still plenty of time for them to tweak the gameplay a little bit, but it did feel a lot, 95% similar with new animations to Madden 21 gameplay. Last thing, like I said, I really do like the stadium characteristics. I know it's kind of weird knowing that there's home field advantage each and every game. Even the lines get squiggly like NCAA football. Bro, that gave me such NCAA football vibes, and I love that. I just really do think the whole entire new stadium atmosphere thing and stadium characteristics and ability, stuff like that, momentum, is super dope. Now, I didn't have any really negative experiences with it so far, but I do understand where some people think that could be a little overpowered and just like super random. But just making the game as realistic as possible and trying to bring home field advantage into the game, I mean, I think they're doing a decent job, because home field advantage, aside from last year obviously, but under normal circumstances, home field advantage is 100% a thing, and they're trying their best to actually replicate that in their video game. And I think for starters, they're doing a really decent job. I'm so excited to try out some experiments though, especially trying to see how far you can throw the football now that actually in Denver the ball travels further opposed to other stadiums like it does in real life. Same thing with kicky. So a bunch of new experiments we can do on the channel once Madden 22 does drop, because of the new stadium and like atmosphere characteristics like that. Like it a lot. Now, franchise mode, I have to be careful here. I don't know what all I can tell you, but the one thing I can tell you is the fact that franchise mode is completely different. 100% completely different. It feels like you're playing a completely different game mode. There's just so much new added to the mode. The UI, the interface, the menus are completely different. There's no more coach in the background, but I think it actually looks a lot more clean. It actually is taking some getting used to playing the beta in franchise mode. Now, there are a lot of glitches right now in the beta. Like, I don't know if I'm able to say this. Who cares, you know? But I'm sure if you're playing the beta as well, you've probably experienced it. The fact that the game is really glitchy right now, a lot of glitches. That's why it's a beta, stuff they have to fix and stuff they already knew was wrong that they still have to fix, but they wanted to go ahead and release the beta. Game freezes a lot, so stuff like that is obviously like not good, but it will be fixed before the game is dropped, hopefully, or they just suck more than what they already do at EA. But generally speaking, I do think franchise mode has taken a huge step forward in the right direction. Now, talking about the scouting, there are a few things that are kind of disappointing right now. Now, you guys probably saw if you watched my franchise video when they did their teaser reveal on Thursday, the scouting right now in the beta is exactly the same as it was in Madden 21. Even the same exact problems. Like late in the year, for whatever reason, throughout updates, like the second half of the year playing franchise mode, there was never any good offensive lineman ever put in your draft classes. Like if you use an auto-generated draft class, there was never good offensive linemen. So you had a problem like 15 years into your franchise mode, maybe not even 15 years, maybe like 10 years, 5 years into your franchise mode, there were hardly any more good offensive linemen because there was never good offensive linemen drafted throughout the NFL drafts. So that is actually still a problem, and that's so disappointing. And the other problems you guys probably witnessed in the draft classes and the scouting and stuff like that the second half of the year, it's exactly the same right now in the Madden 22 beta. Now, the thing is, they're supposedly coming out with a brand new scouting overhaul in September, just a few weeks after the game drops. So if you guys remember last year, they released like 3 different updates throughout the year for franchise mode. So periodically throughout the year, franchise mode had more stuff, more features added into the game mode throughout the year progressed. And that is the first thing they have in the cards, is actually to completely overhaul the whole entire scouting in the NFL draft portion of your franchise. Like I said, the problem is as of right now, it's exactly the same. So I guess they're just kind of doing all or nothing. So what we're probably playing right now, Madden 22 beta, is the same exact thing as Madden 21. I don't think they touched anything yet. But what I'm trying to say is the fact that probably unfortunately, once Madden 22 first drops, the scouting and franchise mode will be exactly the same as it was in Madden 21, but that will change and will be updated in a few weeks after the game does drop. I think they said early September. I don't think it's a big problem as long as they actually do what they say they're gonna do. Now, the second problem is the fact that last year when the first fixed Madden franchise thing went down and EA committed to actually improving franchise mode, but said it would take a while. They did some updates last year, did some updates this year. But one of the promises they made was they were going to add more branding assets, more teams and everything to relocation and franchise mode. And from what I can tell so far, I haven't seen one new team, one new city. I might have missed one, maybe 2, but there's no huge change. I really don't think I missed any, to be honest. But from what I see in franchise mode, there's no new teams, nowhere new to relocate. So I'm wondering if that's something they just haven't added yet and they'll have it out at the launch, or is that something they completely forgot about? Because as of right now, from what I can tell, I apologize if I missed something, I think relocation is 100% exactly the same as it was last year. Same places, same uniforms, same team names, stuff like that. Hopefully that'll get changed. I mean, they said it was, so hopefully they didn't just freaking lie to us. But like I said, guys, aside from the few problems that we just addressed, franchise mode has been completely overhauled. From the game day experience to injuries, to training, to having skill trees, having coordinators, a bunch of stuff is going on. You have cutscenes now, press conferences. Your GM will come to you in a meeting and tell you that there's certain prospects he wants you to look at and try to scout. So a lot of new things and a lot of new scenarios that have been added to franchise mode. I promise you guys, as soon as you play it for the first time, you will feel like you're playing a brand new mode. It's just going to take some time to get used to. And I think that's the first time we said that in like the past 10 years. Saying that a new franchise mode on a new Madden game was actually going to take some getting used to, because for the past 10-15 years, they've all been almost exactly the same. So that is definitely, like I said, a step in the right direction. And once the scouting does get completely overhauled and gets released like a few weeks after the game does drop, and if they do actually fix the relocation stuff like they said they are, it will 100% from top to bottom be a brand new game mode. Now, the only thing I do have to say that they didn't touch as well, and I don't think they have any plans to fix it before the launch, is there's still only 3 trade blocks. That makes me so sad. In real life, a lot of the time you see 4 or 5 like pieces in a trade traded at once, and you can only do 3. It sucks. The trade logic does seem exactly the same from the last trade logic update, which was like in March, I believe. So I didn't really expect them to do too much in terms of tweaking that. I am really disappointed that there's still only 3 trade blocks. Hopefully that will be something they do fix throughout this year, because I know in the moments I've had discussing different things with EA developers, that's one of the big problems I did have. The fact that there's only freaking 3 trade blocks in each and every trade. And also, importantly, after what, 6 years, we do have a brand new Super Bowl celebration. If you guys don't know the meme, for the past like 4 or 5 years, frame per frame, the Super Bowl celebration is exactly the same in every Madden franchise or whatever Super Bowl you play in. It's exactly the same. Finally this year, it's been completely changed. Now, that was actually promised to us last year. They said they were going to bring it out in an update. They didn't, but at least finally it has been updated. And guys, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, franchise mode, it has some glitches right now. A lot of the things that they implemented, all the new features that I'm telling you has completely overhauled the game mode, they're cool features. Some of them are still really, really buggy, especially the training and your players like losing health in the training sessions and the practice sessions, stuff like that. A lot of that's buggy, but if they can fix all those bugs, if they can give us the stuff that they promised to give us in the first update or 2, franchise mode, I think, is going to be the best that it's been probably in the past 10 years. But take that with a grain of salt. But so far, franchise mode in general, and I think the Madden game, depending on what you're looking for in a Madden game and an NFL game, I